It's my privilege to welcome Pramod Bhasin. He's the man who transformed the BPO industry in India, starting in 1997 with Genpact, which now the industry has about 1 million plus employees. GE itself, it's formerly Genpact, now employs 43,000 employees across 13 countries. He's also the past chairman of NASCOM. Pramod, it's a pleasure to welcome you.
My pleasure. Thank you.
It's an amazing story. I think everybody, not just India but around the world, want to know, because if India is on the world map because of BPO, you have an instrumental role that you have played. Wanted to ask you, after having worked for close to 25 years with GE and RCA, what made you think about this and do it in India?
I think, one, it was a compelling idea at the time. Very simple idea, but I think, as in many cases, a very simple idea can be extremely compelling, which is, we had enormous intellectual talent and capability here. We were exporting people to all parts of the company across the world, and they were doing extremely well. So we had remarkable talent. India's really got remarkable talent for the scale of the economy at that time. And therefore, the ability to leverage that for global companies across the world was a very simple idea, which just made astonishing sense, because you were delivering great talent at half the cost. How can that picture be very wrong? Getting it done is a whole different issue. But I think it was so compelling, and I must give due credit to GE. They are a very entrepreneurial company. We built GE Capital in India up from scratch, brick by brick, one person at a time. So we knew how to do that. We had that in ourselves. Obviously, I must have felt comfortable in an entrepreneurial role as well. But when you have such a compelling idea and you have the ability that you believe in, the confidence to go out and do something, you have to follow your dreams. And that's what I did.
But at that time, there were no processes.
No.
That's the most challenging part to do that in India.
Yes.
Even today, the smaller companies face that challenge.
Yes. Yeah.
If you can share with us a couple of
Sure.
processes that you deployed and the challenges you faced.
We had no processes. I mean, there were no buildings. Today what is Gurgaon is a metropolis. Everybody comes and looks at all the spanking new buildings and think wonderful. But at that time, we couldn't find a single building to occupy. Our big issue was getting enough building space. Today, you can have as much building space as you want. We couldn't get telecom networks up and running because the government wasn't willing to give us telecom networks with that level of confidence and uptime. We didn't know how to train people. We were trying to do mortgage processing here, and most of the people we hired didn't know a thing about mortgages, nor could we hire somebody else who could then train them on mortgages. We didn't know how to get people back and forth to work in the evenings. Business continuity planning. Every element was brand new. But I think we didn't really come across anything we thought wasn't solvable. And I think once you adopt that mindset, life changes. Once you adopt a mindset of, this is a great idea, I'm going to execute it, I'm going to get it done, you move very quickly into a mindset of saying, how am I going to solve for whatever it is? So if we need a new building, we scouted around all over Gurgaon. At that time, there were no buildings there, as I said. Found a old warehouse, I think, and converted that. We found surrogate trainers, we found surrogate employees, we found surrogate training material. We figured out how to deliver breakfast, lunch, dinner, because you couldn't get these surround supporting services. Telecom was an issue. We had to talk to STPI and the government and worked our way through that, figuring out how to get rid of voice delays, figuring out how to put an operating manual in place. We didn't have an operating manual. How do you move processes from here to there? Now again, GE helped a lot. GE were terrific. We got the support of all their functions. And entrepreneurial though it was, I think we had the best of both worlds. We knew how to put processes into place, and we had enormous support. And I think that helps a lot.
I think what you also did was you changed the very dynamics of employee-employee relationship.
Yes.
I'm talking about the pay scale.
Yes.
Kids who couldn't dream of making 10,000.
Absolutely.
You started paying them
Absolutely.
3 times more.
Absolutely.
That in some sense, get the boost to the middle class.
Yes.
But it also hurt in some ways because then it couldn't continue forever unless
Yes.
you really bring value.
Yes.
To
Yes.
it.
Yes.
There was a lot of attrition as well at the same time.
Yes. Absolutely.
How did you face those challenges? It's very interesting to understand that
Yes.
aspect.
I think the most rewarding aspect of our work, quite honestly, all these years, has been the employment opportunities we've created. We have hundreds and thousands of employees who today earn more than their parents did when they were close to retirement. So the opportunity it has given them to the middle class, the lower middle class, call it whatever you want, is immense. And it's not just an opportunity of earning money, it's an opportunity of working in a very safe environment. You know, 50% of our people are women, of our employees are women. They work in a very safe environment. They work in a place where their rights are respected, where we think about how they're doing. We give them terrific training. And I think it has changed their lives. It has also changed the cities and towns in which we work in. So Gurgaon has changed, Jaipur has changed, Hyderabad has changed, Bangalore of course has changed earlier.
Youngsters and change the whole dynamic.
So the opportunity to the youngsters is enormous because it changes their lives and it changes the lives of their families. There are lots of people getting to know each other, people getting married, families growing up together. Look at the opportunity it gives to people to travel overseas and see a different way in which the world works. You know, we send 4,000 or 5,000 people overseas every year. Just think about the way it works and about the exposure it gives them. And then when they come back, the governance and the politics and everything else that they bring back with them and the standards they'd like to live with. So I think that's been a hugely rewarding exercise for all of us. And I think that's something that I will be the proudest of. Having said that, yes, we gave more money. Attrition was very high because I think people still in India don't understand what it is to build careers. There aren't enough role models, there aren't enough examples. There are very few companies here which you can, Hindustan Levers, you know, certainly the ICICIs of the world, the State Bank of India also are places where people join and stay for 30 years. But typically, for a lot of people who don't understand the difference between a good culture and a bad culture, they leave. And they leave for a little more money and they leave for other things. And I call it a disease. It's a disease in India which hurts them and it hurts companies.
You know, having benefited the Indian economy and the
Yes.
Indian middle class so much,
Yes.
on the other side, across two continents in the US,
Yes.
you are, and the industry itself looked upon as somebody that has taken away
Absolutely.
The very same jobs from the very
Absolutely.
same class
Absolutely.
of the society.
Absolutely.
And Bush administration faced that, or
Yes.
Obama is facing that now.
Yes.
How do you answer that?
I answer it in the same way that then global trade has taken jobs away from the world in many places, you know. So every time, you know, IBM sells a computer here, or I guess it doesn't do that anymore, but every time, you know, American or a multinational sells products here, it's taking someone's job away, right? And similarly, our industry takes no more or less jobs away than buying manufactured goods from China or from America or from Germany. It's global trade. Global trade will go to where it's most competitive and where services and products are offered in the most competitive way. What is happening is the services industry is becoming productized. So people are going to buy and sell services like they bought and sold manufactured goods. And this will evolve to, you know, the most competitive dynamics. So the concept of saying we've taken jobs away, but when you buy parts from China, that doesn't take jobs away is, you know, just is a complete oxymoron, frankly, in any economic dictionary. So my answer to that has always been very clear. I mean, you know, get competitive. You know, my answer to that has always been very clear.
Finally,
but, hey, bhai sir,
excuse me.
Excuse me. अभी नहीं करंट 2 मिनट रुक जाइए.
Finally, Pramod, you gave an impetus to a section of society here in India. But India can't survive on just BPO. It has to move up the ladder.
Absolutely.
When do you think real innovation will start taking place?
I think it's happening every day. I think this whole concept that innovation suddenly takes place and innovation is only around a new product or service is one, misleading and incorrect. I think innovation happens all over the place. I think we innovate every day in terms of how we hire, how we train. the range of products and services we offer. Every day we offer new services. Every day we move up the value chain. You know, and outsourcing is, as a word is obsolete in my view. We offer banking services or financial services or finance and accounting services or supply chain services. And on all of those, we constantly go up. We've recently launched something called Smart Enterprise Processes. You know, and smart processes is all about taking processes to be best in class. That's completely innovative from India. It's, you know, processes have existed in the world for hundreds of years.
So talking about the innovation part.
So innovation is happening all the time, and I don't think we should be. I think we are enormously innovative and creative, and I just think you need an ecosystem to build up to a certain point, and then yes, you will see big new products. But B2C is a huge area of innovation that will happen at some point in time. It's beginning to happen. People are thinking that through. So there are lots of areas where this is a real potential where new ideas are coming through. But I think if you look, you know, this industry is only 12 years old. And look at where it's got to and look at the things it's doing today. Today we're doing treasury management, we're helping hospitals become more efficient, we're doing remote diagnostics of patients, you're helping investment bankers sell their products better, you're doing derivatives, trading, you're also doing derivatives, back office work. You know, look at the range of work that is being done in a short space of 10 to 12 years. If that isn't innovation, I haven't seen innovation anywhere in the world yet.
Pramod, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.
My pleasure. Thank you.